sound capturing system, which our School of Education has purchased, and it's the very first time that we're using it. So yeah, thank you for your patience, and we are now going to start. So welcome everybody to a presentation which is entitled Growing Community Engagement Internationally and Locally. And when we think about community engagement, I always say it's the fifth cousin. It's not even the second or the third cousin. And invariably, by saying it's the fifth cousin, I am saying it with a lot of, I won't even say tongue in cheek, but with a lot of experiences in terms of engagement across the board and the way in which community engagement really is being focused on. So what I do want to say is that wherever we work, wherever we are placed, wherever we are interacting with people, community engagement is definitely the core. It is the center to our teaching and learning. It is the center to our research as well. And the question that I want to pose to you is community engagement just a platonic type of experience, or is community engagement really something that focuses on change? So we need to really understand how, if it is focusing on change, then to what extent are our engagements with our communities bringing about change? Okay, so on that note, I do want to say welcome to everybody. I know a lot of people said, oh, how can you have a presentation on the 13th of December? You heard the word change? It starts with the capital C. So change is what we work with all the time. And comfort is far away from change. So the comfort is on that trajectory and the change is on the other one. So we are slowly moving ourselves away from comfort to the change that we need to be embracing in order for us to understand what it really means to be engaged with communities. And notice I use the word with. So welcome everybody, and I do want to say particularly welcome to the presenters and also welcome to our head of the cluster, Dr. Doris Sibanda. Thank you so much, Dr. Sibanda. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor James. Good morning, colleagues and friends and all the visitors from all over the country. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all on behalf of the College of Humanities and the School of Education. Welcome you to the seminar on growing our community engagement internationally and local. Thank you for all of you who are attending in person and virtually. Welcome to this first seminar or webinar on community engagement. So colleagues, enjoy, and let's hand over to the program director. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So without much ado, I will just introduce the three speakers, and I hope you notice that they're all women, and they're all women in science, with science, about science, of science, for science, whatever you want to put in terms of that preposition, it's there. So, start my video. So what you need to think about here is, in terms of Prof. Maya Axela, so I think it was about 4 years ago, I applied for a grant to go to Finland because I was tired of reading in these international results that Finland was tops, and everything you read about Finland, it was like the education was just so good. what made it so good? It really irritated me. So anyway, I applied for a grant. I got a grant, knew nobody in Finland, spoke to somebody in Brazil. They knew Maya, and she said, Maya will definitely host you. Just contact her. Yes, contacted her, met at the university, and so it goes on. And I really do say that she will speak to, obviously, the education in a bit with regard to Finland. And I think what is essentially important is how we embrace the different models and the different ideas that individuals have, and how we share those particular ideas and to make them and adapt them to our particular context, wherever it comes from. So this division of North and South, really, I don't work that way. I work globally. So when we start thinking about it, what is it that is best practice for us in the context in which we actually work? And I think that's what we need to be thinking about all the time. So Maya, thank you so much. And thank you for hosting me during that time. And I'm telling you, it was a fantastic experience. And this should have happened probably 2 years ago, but we had an uncle and an aunt or a cousin that was called COVID. Notice I didn't say parents. Anyway, yeah, so this should have happened earlier on, but it's now happening, which is absolutely fantastic. So I do want to say thank you, Maya, for being present. And I also want to talk to my aunt, my aunt science woman, whom we have been involved in very rural types of activities over the years. And if it wasn't rural, it was something locally within our university, etc. So I do want to say welcome, Tanya. I mean, when you see Tanya with her science coat on and her mad wig that she has on, I don't know why she's not wearing it today. You'll be surprised, and she'll tell you what the learners actually call her as well. So welcome, Tanya. Welcome, Nalini. And we are we are women in crime sometimes. We run away from sessions to go and have a bit of gin somewhere. We have to share. That's community engagement, eh? So thank you so much for both of you. And obviously, we've just come back from the International ESCOM Expo at Boksburg, and what a phenomenal event. UKZN, we are losing and we are missing out, because we really need to be doing more with the ESCOM Expo for young scientists. Thank you so much. Maya, please go. Yes. Yes. Close this one. This is the one. No. This one here. This one, this one? I can't see anything. Oh, okay. I don't know which one is her one. Oh, okay. Why doesn't it? You can stop it. Okay. You can get another one. There, right. Is that the one? Yeah, that should be the one. I think that's the one. That one.
No, you can't
see it. Okay, you can't see it because I need to check. Okay, hang on. Let me just go into the Zoom. Share screen. That one or that one?
I don't know. Let me just please.
Yeah, she can't see. Yeah, I can think that's the one.
No, escape that. Close that.
That one.
This one here. The one on top. This is the one.
I think
Yeah.
this is the right one.
That one.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There we
So
go.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right.
Okay.
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 that's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Okay.
So I use this when I
Okay, so
So everything fine now?
Go.
Yeah, this and this, okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, my friends in Africa. First of all, thank you a lot for your kind invitation to your beautiful country and beautiful university. It's first time for me in Africa. It has been my dream for years to come here. So finally we meet you all. And thank you, Professor Angela James, for your hospitality and all arrangements during this 1 week. We have almost been here. So it has been wonderful time here and meet you all. I always say, as is in my slide, together we are more. We can always learn from each other and share our ideas and make together better world. So I'm happy to be here. Is it fine? Okay. And I took some candies from Finland to you, so you can start with little hearts. We also have very good chocolate, but I knew that you have a hot weather here, so I took these marmalade candies. Okay, so you already saw some photos from Finland and our children and the teachers. I always say, make us a future in our hearts. Okay.
It's still not showing on Zoom.
Okay, let's have a little bit break before screen. But you can take this one. See my title. I'm going to talk how to engage makers of future on math, science, and technology education in Finland. And I share some ideas. What are we doing here in Finland? And it's my pleasure to also learn from you. I have visited okay. Yeah.
Because they can't hear you.
Yeah, okay, here. So I have already visited your excellent expo and met so many talented students around South Africa and interviewed them and learned a lot. So it was very nice experience to be your expo. Okay, so before I start my presentation, here is a little bit background from me. I have been over 35 years in the field in science education. And nowadays I'm professor of science education and educating future teachers in math, science, and technology education. My major is chemistry, but I have studied physics, mathematics, and computing science, and of course, education. And I have PhD in science education. And I'm a director of National Luma STEM Science Education Center in Finland. I'm going to share it later on, what is the center. And I always say that teachers are very important and the quality of education, and that's why teachers are affecting our society about 100 years. So it's very important how good quality of teacher education is in system. Before I go to my presentation, some photos from Finland. I love to take photos, Angela knows. So just now we have winter season. Our Christmas is in 2 weeks, and everywhere you can see white snow. It's very beautiful. And we have 4 seasons. Every season is 4 months, like 3 months at least. And if you want to know more about our beautiful country, you can visit Finland webpage. You can find out a lot of information in English. So we are a very small country, only 5.1 million people, and we have beautiful nature. Some people say that we are the happiest country in the world. I don't know, but I think I'm very happy because we have so beautiful nature. We have 43 national parks, almost 200,000 lakes, islands, and a lot of forests to hike. And this photo is summer photo. And we are in very north. Our neighbors are Norway, Sweden, Russia, and Baltic countries. It took about 11 hours to fly from Amsterdam to here. And this photo shows you our beautiful summer. It's sunny and it can be 25 to 35 Celsius, but it's only short time, 3 months. And during fall time, we have full of colors everywhere. It's also a beautiful time. We love our nature. We think that we have only one planet. We should take good care of it. And that's why sustainability is very important for us. And we have a strategy how to promote sustainability. And we also think that teachers are the agents of changes, and the quality of education is very important for good sustainable future. If I think Finland, we have been independent 100 years about, and that at the beginning we were a very poor country, and also after Second World War. But then our government decided that education is the quality of education is a key for a good future. So we have equal school system, and it's free of charge for all. So all children can go to school and it's free of charge. I think that's one good thing in our country. And also 50 years ago, our governments decided that teacher education is very important for good future. So 50 years ago, we started to our teacher education at university, and all our teachers are doing master's degree in education or in science education. So as I said, sustainability is important also in our curriculum, and we try to find out the solutions and open science and its solutions for young people and all people in Finland. And all these socio-scientific issues are very important in our curriculum. In our Luma Center Finland, we try to promote the engagement on children and young people from early age, from kindergarten to universities, and teachers and future teachers, lifelong learning. I started to build first Luma Center at the University of Helsinki 20 years ago. And what was the reason for it that we built this kind of Luma STEM center at the university? That time, 20 years ago, it was a big gap between university, schools, and society, for example, with companies. And I thought that if we communicate more, we are learning from each other, and we can learn from teachers are learning from us, and also from companies and society. So 20 years ago, we built this first Luma Center at University of Helsinki. We make the national strategy that every university should have this kind of center in our country. We have 11 universities. So during last 20 years, there have been one center at least at every university. And 10 years ago, we built this network so that we are working together. And we really trust on collaboration, and together we are more. And nowadays we have a national task from our government. So universities and government are giving our resources mainly, but we have a lot of project-based resources from National Board of Education, from companies, from foundations, from European Commission, and so on. And every year we set those aims, and we have self-evaluation and peer evaluation, and also we have had external evaluation with good grades. We think that the family science education is very important, so we have built novel solutions so that families can support makers of future. So we have different kind of science clubs, virtual science clubs, that also families can do those things at home together. And also we think that all close people are important, but also grandparents, if it's possible, it's good. So what means Luma? Luma, LU means science, and M mathematics, and A is letter for means all subjects, all sciences. As we know, all subject is important. And we have a disciplinary topics, but of course, those multidisciplinary topics are very important. And we want to see a joy of science, and the light in our logo is like the shine from students' eyes when they are engaged in science. We trust on collaboration. We think we are a small country, we have to do things together. And so because we are university network, we build those novel solutions, research-based. So everything what we are doing is some way connected to research at the beginning of design, or we have studied those effects of those activities, but it always co-designing with different partners. And we have close collaboration also with companies, because we want to show the relevancy of math, science, and technology, and open those careers for future makers. And international collaboration, I think, as Angela said, is very important. I hope we learn from you, and you learn from us, and so we can make a better world together. Those Luma STEM labs at the universities, we have built 16 of them. They have many roles. First, for us at the university, they are those research development centers where we build those new activities, new materials, and so on. But they are open for schools. So teachers and school classes can visit us, and they can co-design with our coordinators programs so that it supports their curriculum. And so it's authentic environments, laboratories, those places where our scientists are working, and they can do different kind of things there. And always when they visit those Luma labs, they do activities, new activities. They don't do at school. They are novel activities, and we collect data so we can get to know the relevancy of those activities. And of course, we want that they get a lot of joy of science, and we have found that it's very successful model. And then we educate also all teachers and future teachers in those Luma labs using those novel activities. And they are also collaboration centers with media and partners, for example, companies. So we have also close collaboration with media. It's important to show things through our television and newspapers and so on. So I show two examples, our Luma labs. 15 years ago, I built first Luma lab, chemist lab Kadolin. It's named from a very famous Finnish scientist, Kadolin, who found the element of gadolinium. You can find it from period table. And I built this first Luma lab with companies and scientists, and companies are giving us their specialty and co-designing things with us, but also they are giving us resources, new materials, and also money. And we have built this kind of face-to-face programs for school visits and teachers, but we have also e-visits. So if a school is far away from university in little village, it's possible to them have an e-visit. So the same, and they can do at school. We have found that it's very important that students have role models, that they meet scientists and specialists in companies, so they can ask questions, they can see different careers, and so on. Also, we have found that those non-formal, informal education is very important. We have built different kind of science clubs, science camps, and so on. One very popular model have been science birthdays. And for us, they are like the environment where we test new materials. But for those children and families, they are very exciting. You can imagine when they put those white coats and glasses, and they go to laboratory to make new things. We have found that these birthday parties science parties are very good way to engage future makers. And we have also virtual birthdays. We have packages in science on our web pages that every child can have a science birthday in Finland. And as you all know, birthdays are so important for children. And so we have developed many these kind of things. And I think the best thing is this is integrated to teacher education. So all those school visits and materials, some way are the task from, how to say, integrated to our teacher education. So those future teachers are guiding those groups. So it's some kind of training for them. Also, they are guiding those science clubs, science camps. Their thesis are bachelor or master's thesis or PhD thesis is usually integrated to do these all things what we are doing. So it's research-based, and they are learning a lot. I can say that during these 20 years, those who are studying to be teachers, they are very well motivated to be teachers, because they have during those 5 years, they are whole time in contact with children, young people, or teachers, or society. So it's motivating them. As I said, we have 16 different kind of Luma labs, also in mathematics and so on. But I can show this one very popular in computing science. As we know all, we need computing science everywhere in every subject. But this Linkki Luma lab is promoting with us those programming and robotics. They have clubs, teacher education, and research. Especially they are very famous to engage girls in computing science. They have found new ways how to engage girls on programming and robotics, and we have good results through research. Because we are university network, as I said, all what are we doing are research-based. So this is the model that we use as a framework. It's behind all our activities. So when we think that we should do something, it always starts from empirical problem analysis. We invite teachers, partners to do something new with us, and we start from needs. We listen to teachers, students, and this theoretical problem analysis is our role at university. We should open the newest research in mathematics, science, and technology, and also its learning and teaching. So together, when we have all those partners in our projects, we made together those goals, and then we plan from research-based those new pilot models together. Then we start this testing in Luma labs at schools, science centers. There can be many cycles, and we collect data at the same time. How does it affect on students? And finally, we get the practical things. It can be materials, activities, or something else, but we get also this theory-based things, and we can publish scientific papers also in English. And when we get those new materials, activities, what models, what can they be, we educate our future teachers and teachers for them. We have a lot of online MOOCs because we have a lot of villages far away from universities. So we are sharing from them. And we have found that this model is very good, novel way to educate research-oriented and reflective teachers for future. When we are doing things together, I can say always that when we have a new project, I'm learning a lot. It's also good for me as a teacher educator. As Angela said wisely, we need to do together more, and that's why we have built many international programs. One very famous and effective way is this International Teachers Climate Change Forum, where teachers around the world are working with us and scientists, and it's free of charge, and it's also virtual that you can also participate on. It's always once a year. You can find out from our website, and that's one example about co-design. In our model, as I said, teacher education is very important. So we have built this work like that. Those future teachers program and teachers at school are collaborating a lot. And we have integrated not only formal, but non-formal and informal learning. And I think this is like a heart in our model that we educate, we are learning from each others. And shortly, I give one very successful example about STEAM education, this kind of project-based learning we have done last 6 years. We are, of course, supporting our national curriculum. So here are those things that we are trying to do with our schools and students, and those multidisciplinary learning modules and those competencies are very important. For example, process-based learning is a very effective way to promote these competencies. So this is from our curriculum. Those all are important things, as we know. Values are very important also, and attitudes and will, not only knowledge and skills. And if you think our upper secondary education, I think there's one very important thing that nowadays it's in our law that you should do very close collaboration with universities. And so we want that 50% of our young people have a university degree. So that's why we think that this is very important to do. So we have done this project-based learning, for example, 6 years, phenomenon-based and discipline-based integration. And as you know, this problem-based learning is very good way to engage future makers and start it from their questions, their interest, and do little projects. And that's why we started to build this international study program 6 years ago, so that we all can learn from each other's, and star mean that every child, every young people can be star, and team means teamwork. So we are learning from each other's. And so the core is that they do little projects, and teachers try to find out practices supporting their curriculum. So we think that learning is sharing. We can learn also from our students, and we are sharing those ideas and learning. And until this, over 70 countries has participated in study process. So they do things at school or home or clubs, and then they share those ideas. They have those study days at school or study festivals at universities. And we have also public voting international and study gala, and we have those material banks where all those projects, videos, materials, sharing them with all, and it's free of charge. We have different topics with it. So, but nowadays we think that it can be open. So they are short projects and so on. And they can organize with families, with companies, university people, study days at school. And I think this is the important thing, that those children and young people, they are stars, and we are supporting them and learning from them. And it's like your expo, something like this, sharing their learning. And as we all know, those children are very creative, and this is one example. They built this animation, first trip of man to the moon, using this Scratch Junior program. And they wrote a project diary of it, what they have learned, what they have done, and they did a 3 minutes video. And these all are sharing in our material banks. You can go there and you can get my slides later on from Angela. And nowadays, as you know, children like to do those games. So there's a little video you can look at later on. And there are little games that they are co-designing and little projects. And as I said, we try to understand what is happening there. So this is one example of PhD thesis that I have supervised. And we have studied also teachers, what teachers are learning when they are participating on this kind of project-based learning. So if you want to know more about our work, we have published ebook in English. It's free of charge. You can download it from there. There are 100 writers who are sharing their best ideas, and hopefully you can find something useful for you. And we have websites also in English. I heard that you have 12 languages. We have 2 official languages in Finland. We have Finnish and Swedish, but every child has studied English at school. And I have studied also 4th language. That time it was German, But nowadays, our young people, they study Spanish, Italian, Chinese, French, everywhere. So English is my third language. So we are far away. If you have opportunity, warm welcome us. We have beautiful northern lights also in Lapland, where Santa Claus is living. So I thank you for your attention, and I always say, makers of future in our hearts, together we are more. Thank you a lot.
So thank you so much, Maya. And you know that whole thing of together we are more, I steal it from her so often. And I say, like my friend in Finland says, together we are more.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for
you.
that. We have 5 to 8 minutes for
Okay.
questions.
Oh, it's my
And if
pleasure.
people would like to ask you some questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's my pleasure to answer. So if you here or later on, you can send me messages.
Please.
Okay.
2 questions so far.
Maya, thank you very much for this brilliant presentation, and I would love to go to Finland, I should say. In terms of staff, how many people or permanent staff do you actually have? This sounds like a huge endeavor, and I'm pretty sure that you have a block of, people working for you.
Thank you.
Do you only have permanent, or do you also have like something like interns or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for a good question. As I said, this model is very well integrated to teacher education. So we have people who are permanent positions, those coordinators in every center, maybe all are full time. But many people have 10%, 20%, or 50%, as I have integrated my work to this. So it's in Finland, if you are working at university, you have your teaching, you have your research, but the third task is to do community work. So this Luma work is, of course, it's education and research, but it's also community work.
So how many people in your team?
Yeah, we have University of Helsinki has this managed office where I have how many? At least 10 people. But every center has, of course, own director and own coordinators and people. But we think that everyone can be a science ambassador. So it's not that they are those offices, but every personnel in our university, every students in our university are science ambassadors. So we take all people with us to do little things, step by step, I always said. When I started to build this 20 years ago, I started with small projects only, few projects, step by step. And so it's, it's good, very good question, but when it's integrated to your education, your research, so you don't need so much resources, funding. But I have said, Ansela, that when I started this, I didn't have any resources, only a big dream in my head. But our government has given us a lot of resources, for example, 6 million euros for, yeah. But I can say it took a while to get it. You have to have trust, that they trust on your working, and so many discussion, many applications before that. But nowadays it's quite well, so we can get good resources for it. But I think people are resources. You all are resources. So good. Yeah, please.
You're talking robotics. What exactly are you guys doing currently, and how advanced are you in Finland regarding robotics and coding? I mean,
Yeah,
South
that's
Africa is just implementing it.
yeah.
It'd be great to learn from you.
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good question. So as I said, we like to promote curriculum aims. So we update our curriculum every 10th year. And last curriculum, about 8 years ago, we have this programming integrated to mathematics education. So they start programming when they are 9 years old. And it's more like computational thinking also. And schools can have also those science clubs for programming and robotics after school. But nowadays it looks like that programming is part of every subject because it's useful for all, but closely integrated to mathematics and this computing thinking. And in our Luma centers, we are building those new activities and materials with computer scientists and teachers together and companies. So
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
The University of Free State are just setting up a center of science.
yeah,
And they're looking at putting in coding and robotics.
yeah,
And our Department of Education here in South Africa is looking at rolling out coding and robotics as a subject in the school. You were saying from what grade is coding and robotics in the school curriculum, or is it just as a separate?
yeah. As I said, it's part of curriculum.
thing?
They started when they are 9 years old.
What grade is that?
Is it grade 3?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but it's integrated to every subject some way. It's not own subject. It's a more integrated model. So we have had a huge work to educate all our teachers at schools for programming and robotics.
Thank you.
Yeah, so step by step. Yes, it is. Thank you.
Interesting presentation. I just know something. You mentioned that you go to labs for these young children. And is the school system not providing the curriculums? What was the reason of having labs at the university when the schooling system is giving the curriculums?
Yeah, we have laboratories also at schools, especially high schools, but of course they are not the modern laboratories. So we want to show them the modern laboratories like scientists are working. So they are similar laboratories than we have at universities. So schools, of course, they have practical working and they do the more like simple activities. But we want to open this nature science and authentic things. I can say that when they put those white coats and glasses and start to work, they are all smiling and happy. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, 2 more questions.
Oh yeah, it's my
And
pleasure.
then we close.
It's my pleasure. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Prof. James, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maya.
Yeah.
Enticing.
Thank you.
I know I've read about the education system in Finland, and
Yeah.
one thing that fascinated me is the fact that to get a decent pass, you must get at least 70% from the state high stake examination.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we need to reflect on as South Africa, because we are benchmarking ourselves at various. But I just want to find out in terms of how you prepare teachers, the structure of your teacher education, particularly that you work with chemistry teachers.
Yeah.
Do they go for a bachelor's degree in chemistry, then they come to certain faculty to do the pedagogies, or you have a particular program that links the pedagogies together with the content? Just wanted to.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
That's very good questions. Yeah.
One of the bigger
Yeah.
problems is the fact that institutions are training teachers differently.
Mhm.
and how they pitch the level of the content in their disciplines. It's
Yeah.
really different. So
Yeah.
just kind of-
Thank you. Very good question. As I said, we have 11 universities and 8 of them are giving teacher education. And if you think those elementary teachers who are teaching students from age 7 until 12, elementary teachers are studying at faculty, mainly on faculty of education. And it's very popular choice to apply to be elementary teachers. I think it's as popular as to be a doctor in medicine or lawyer. Our young students, they want to make a better world and be a teacher, elementary teacher. So, for example, at University of Helsinki, there is 3,000 students applying to be an elementary class teacher, and they took only 120 in. So that tells something about how talented teachers we have. And I think that the most important are those who are teaching the little ones, because it starts from there. And those who are studying to be subject teachers, they are teaching, they are studying mainly at Faculty of Science or Faculty of Bioscience. And I'm working at Faculty of Science. And we have 5 years program. First 3 years are for bachelor degree, but they can't go to school after bachelor. But we have this bachelor degree because they have it in science also. So it's balance between science and science education. So 60% the courses, it's science. It can be mathematics, physics, chemistry. Usually they choose 2 subjects. For example, physics and mathematics is very famous component. And we have mathematics, physics and chemistry teacher education special program in Faculty of Science. So they apply after senior high school to that program. And we took 50 students each year. And we have special courses beside those science courses. We have this kind of science education courses or math education courses for future teachers. So I have built this program for chemistry teachers. So I have 12 special courses in science education. And all those courses have 1 or 2 tasks in Luma. So they have some practical tasks that they are, for example, doing in chemistry lab cuddling, and it's part of their course task. And that's a good way I have found good way to motivate to be a teacher. So after bachelor, they do 2 years masters, they do bachelor thesis, master's thesis, and many of them continue to do PhD. And I have guided 16 PhD theses in the context of Luma until this. And was this good for your question?
So much, so much.
Okay,
So much.
okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Is on this slide, which was written, you've got new solutions and model from the LHW to the university doing so how are you doing this?
Which one was this? Let's see me. I can take it from here. Which? Next one. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's that's actually it's this framework as I showed later on. So this is our way how we build this new. Was it here? This is our framework. Well, we start always from needs, and And then we look at what is the new in science. If it's climate change education, for example, we work with scientists who are doing research in climate change. And then we look at research in climate change education. And then we build those goals together with teachers or partners. And then we get the first activity, and then we start to test it many cycles, and finally we get those new solutions. That's the framework there. And then we share those. Also, our science centers use a lot of those activities that we have built together, and they are in our textbooks. Teachers are using them in many ways. Thank you for good question.
They have a slide to go back. So they have a slide.
It's
Yeah, that one. I think that's also what she's referring to, because she's from
Yeah.
early childhood.
Okay, so if there are teachers from early childhood education, we invite them to collaborate with us, and we do co-designing together. We listen those kindergarten teachers' wishes and needs, and then we start to build it together and test in kindergartens or Luma labs, and that's the way. So always we have open calls for teachers. If you're keen on this project or this topic, or we listen them, what are the topics that they need? Yes, our role is to get resources and funding for different things, and then set up the framework for collaboration. For example, if the programming is important topic for early childhood teachers, we start programming projects together, and we co-design it together with teachers, so that up to down. When they come to our place or online, we always start to do it together. It's not from up to down, more like down to up. So we are like catalyzing people. We are helping them to get those solutions.
I think what is important is
Yeah.
that you'll design the programs and you have those programs freely available on the website.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All are open, all materials. Yeah.
And they're all free, and their
Yes.
journal. The other day she said, yeah, you see our journal, we don't charge anything. You publish in our journal, it's free. And I think those are important points. And I think in terms of sharing and growing together, I think that's the way we should be really working. If you think about how much 24,000 Rand for a Q2 journal article, and you still have to buy the journal. I mean, who's fooling who here? We need to be able to understand this. Absolutely.
So I forgot to say that we have this National Research Forum also, and international. We have this international journal for mathematics, science, and technology education. It's open for all. In Finland, we think that it should be open science, that everything is open. So if you go to our website, you also find out this journal. You are welcome to publish it. And also we have International Research Symposium for teachers. It's our 13th time, and it's open. It's virtual happening. So it's every summer in June. So we have many kind of research things also going on. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Can we give Maya a hand? Thank you so much, Maya. We'll call you back at the end. Thank you. So now we introduce Dr. T, guys. Not not Dr. Reinhardt, but Dr. T, without her wig and without her white coat. Please take it away. Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. And I just need to.
You know your way around.
I hope so. That's what I try to pretend that I know my way around. Why is it downloading? Oops, no, okay, all right. Okay, and sorry guys, where is Zoom? I'm going to share my screen, optimize video clip, share sound. Sorry guys, this is technology, and I seriously do hope that and slideshow, why is the slideshow not coming up? This is always very interesting. Okay, let me just stop share. You see, this is the perks of technology, and I really love. Yeah, please.
Right. So let's just minimize. Okay. Okay. And
You see the ping is that
the security.
it's security.
Oh, gosh.
Security alerts. Okay. Somebody is alerting to security. Here we go. I'm a risk. Somebody already noticed that I'm a risk. Yes, I should have brought my gadget so I could have shown you at least some kind of interesting, science experiment while we are, sorting out the issues here.
You are practically focused, why not?
No, I didn't bring anything. See, if somebody has a glass and a plastic lid, I can show you something and some water. That would be fantastic. Okay. There we go. Yes, this is mine. Yeah, thank you. This is always best when you have your own. Okay, we'll just put it online.
Oh, sure. This
is I find it very interesting because usually when I give a presentation I test it beforehand, everything works fine. It comes to the presentation, nothing works. So okay, let me just basically start while we're sorting in the mic. I'm speaking in the mic. Okay, I thought I always have a very loud voice, so I don't really need a mic, but apparently I do need a mic. So what this basically this talk is about our journey in community outreach, in community engagement, in basically joining forces, because I don't have the pleasure of having 10 people amongst me. So the permanent staff member, we have me and me. And me, and sorry, and I must admit, I have help here. I have 2 interns, which are absolutely brilliant, and I wouldn't be able to do the stuff that I'm doing without these interns. Are we winning?
No, I'm not.
Okay, let me just sorry.
Let me just go back and close it.
It's still the security alert.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's.
Yeah, the security alert is coming in.
Okay,
Just give me 1 minute.
Give me that one. Just this one here.
No,
it's
that is what I'm using.
okay. Okay, so here we go. No, it's showing. Just open up
Just give me a minute.
presentation. So as I said, and this is one of the reasons why we actually have to partner. So we are based here we are a small science center here on the UKZN Westford campus, and I hope that I'll be able to show a video with you guys with sound, hopefully. Okay, is it working?
No, it's not.
And it seems that we can't really get this whole thing sorted out. Here we go. All right. Okay, but does it show on Zoom as well? No, it doesn't show on Zoom. Okay. Okay.
Zoom here.
Yes, and we share the screen. And can we please have computer sound? That's fine. And then we just.
Okay, hold on a second. Share sound is fine.
Yeah.
And we share the screen too. Okay, cool.
Can we zoom it? Is it showing on Zoom? No, okay, all right, sorry. Let me just,
It is showing.
is it showing? Okay, super. Ah, okay, so again, technical difficulties. So if anybody is wondering what Angela refers to as the lady with the crazy wig and so on, so the one on the top, you know, with the, I won't mention the country name, which unfortunately are no longer in the World Cup. So that's me. Okay, so I'm looking way better, you know, when I'm wearing this than when I'm wearing this outfit. Okay, and I seriously do have. So just something about our science center here.
Based on the University of KwaZulu-Natal Westville campus, the Science and Technology Education Center's vision is to stimulate an interest and awareness of science and technology. STEC at UKZN has numerous interactive exhibitions on display that will challenge and intrigue the minds of learners and the public. Have you ever wondered how an element like titanium looks like in real life, from which rock it comes from, and what it's used for? Explore our periodic table of real elements to find out. Do you want to experience what it feels like to glide on a pocket of air over the floor? Sit down, relax, and come for a ride on our hovercraft board. You can also challenge your brain by solving one of our many puzzles. STEC at UKZN also houses the only geological museum in KwaZulu-Natal. The displays highlight South Africa's rich rock, fossil, and mineral heritage. Look down a microscope and solve the mystery of the black sand on Devon beaches. Or say hello to copies of Mrs. Blaise and Homo naledi and get to feel how heavy or light rocks can be. Are you interested in a career in agriculture, engineering, and science? Find the right information in our Career Corner, listen to one of our engaging career talks, or simply talk to one of our science students working in the center. If you want to feel like a scientist, book one of our hands-on workshops. Play CSI and solve the case of the missing chocolate cake. Program a robot or go nano and explore the inside world of minerals. You can also use the latest technology to spice up your school knowledge by participating in one of our CABS workshops. Watch one of our exciting science shows with many entertaining, informative experiments and demonstrations. Find out what a balloon and a vacuum cleaner have to do with physics, or join us on a journey through the electromagnetic spectrum. Not able to visit STEC at UKZN? Don't worry. You can still experience our hands-on science workshops, career talks, or edutaining science shows. We can come and visit you. Inquire about our Science for You outreach program and book a visit. For more information or to book a visit, contact us on stec@ukzn.ac.za.
Okay, and this brings us basically to our journey. You've seen part of it already, and it was mentioned there, the Science for You outreach bus. So let me take you back a little bit. So we actually officially opened our doors in 2008, and was basically because of the merger of the University of Durban Westville and the University of Natal and their outreach facilities. So this was in 2008. This was where we basically officially got into operation. We've done some very minor outreach projects in the meantime, but officially we basically started our outreach program in 2016, so only 8 years later. Reason being, So I have to say, I didn't have much knowledge about outreach and what to do and what not. So we basically started, as I said, in 2016 with our Science for You, and this was a Japanese embassy sponsored mobile outreach vehicle. In 2017, we created UKZN with Science, and I'm just going to go through this a little bit later on. So that was 2017. Complete for You, we started in 2019, rolling it out. Then what did Angela say, cousin and whatnot, hit. And then we had to go online, which with its challenges, which I'm going to report just now with the ESCOM Expo online workshops. And then 2021, yes, we were back live. We rolled out Steam, thanks to Angela. And in 2022, we started with our coding and robotics workshops. Right, so let's start with 2016 with the Science for You. So as indicated, as mentioned, we try to assist teachers and learners with our CAPS or curriculum related workshops. And what we're trying to do is, because unfortunately, many schools do not have the lab facilities, they don't have the resources. And this is where we chime in. We take our mobile science lab, we equip it with computerized, technology-driven resources, and then we go out to the schools. So our resources are sensor-based, and you can see on the top here, top left, you can see, and maybe I can just here we go. I can actually just use the laser pointer here. So here you can see this is us this is our equipment. This is a temperature sensor where we do our heating curve of water. We do basking activities. So we go out, we set up display stands, little exhibits, trying to promote, of course, rocks and other science-related subjects. This is me again at one of the schools, and you can see we were not only operating in a venue, but we're also operating outside venues. And this is the vehicle that we are currently using, our little Vito, which sometimes unfortunately failed us. So being stuck in the middle of nowhere is no fun, I promise you. And this is the future. We got sponsorship, luckily, from the Upstream Training Trust Fund for a new vehicle, which is hopefully also capable of going to even further remote areas. In 2017, and this is basically one of my favorite projects. This is UKZN with Science. We as organizations, we went to a conference. The Department of Science and Technology was complaining. Everything happens in the city centers, everything happens, in Durban, in Johannesburg, in Cape Town, and so on, but nothing happens in the rural areas. So we decided as organizations to bring science to the people, to bring science centers to the people. And as you can see from our partners here, we have the UKZN Science Center, we have the KZN Science Center, us as a science center. We were supported by the Durban Natural Science Museum and the Center for the Advancement of Science and Mathematics Education, KASME, and we brought science to the people. We were also joined from an overseas participant, Kitchen Chemistry. Dr. Stephen Ashworth is a big name here in South Africa with his science shows. So what we basically took is we took science, as I said, we took science to the learners. We had basking activities. We also did career talks to high schools, and of course our signature science shows. What I have to mention is that we decided this is our outreach project. So we did not receive any funding. Every organization was covering their own costs, which was absolutely fabulous. Also, what we tried to do is we tried to share the responsibilities. Okay, so everybody was contributing a little bit. So the museum were bringing in some of their equipment. Somebody was organizing the schools. Another person was organizing the science shows. Another person was writing the reports and so on. So shared load. Then in 2019, this was also another pet project of mine. Together with a colleague, we decided, okay, we actually find that, we are looking out targeting schools. outside communities, but what is happening to inside communities? So we enrolled our Complete for You training for staff, cleaning staff in particular, because we talked to the cleaning staff and they said, oh, I don't actually know how a computer works and so on. So it is basically, we try to provide basic computer literacy for our cleaning staff that cannot afford to, a very expensive training course. So trying to uplift them. So it's currently for UKZN cleaning staff. It's been rolled out on the Westwood campus. This year we rolled it out on the Howard College campus, and the future is to roll it out to all lower grade support staff and all campuses. But we started off, we cannot do it ourselves. So we basically need help from each and everybody. And this is also goes out a call now. So whoever wants to support this project, please. You've seen my email address. So we basically cannot do it ourselves. So this is a joint effort of the Science Center, the HR department, interns and students, and they play a very, very important role. The College of Agriculture, Engineering and Science PR team, ICS, of course, because without them, we don't have a lab, we don't have anything. And also, we also get the support from the cleaning staff supervisors that allows the guys to come to us. And here you can see all the happy looking people, and they were very happy. We got lots of positive feedback with that regard. Then, as I said, in 2020, we were basically pretty much stranded. So we started doing outreach online, and then we joined forces with the ESCOM Expo. So we chatted. Nalini will tell you a little bit more about, what ESCOM Expo is about. So what is the model? How did it work? So ESCOM Expo, they basically have a specific learning objective. And they providing these learning objectives, they provide like more theoretical teaching. So what they notice is that, what they need is in fact a practical approach. And this is where we came in. So if in order to do a project, a scientific project or an engineering project, you need specific skills. So this is where we came in. So they would say, okay, we require these skills. We would kind of looking at this. I would come up with the next experiment ideas. We would brainstorm things like this. They say yay or nay, or maybe we can look at this and so on. And then we would basically combine our efforts with the experiments and then basically have our workshop rolled out. So then we had the workshop proposal. So I would do the workshop layout, and then the provincial coordinators would basically say, okay, this is our feedback for it. And then the workshop went online. So the advertising of the workshop, basically, thanks to ESCOM Expo, they would take care of the countrywide announcement, the social media email, so I don't have to worry about this. We did it just locally at the Science Center and at the university, and to other stakeholders in our local network. And then on the day, again, sharing is caring. So I would just needed to present the workshop, answer questions and so on. And the ESCOM Expo guys would basically be the technical support in the background. So they provided the Zoom platform and facilitated the registration and provided technical service as host, and also did some co-representing as well. So this was 2020. So one of our online outreach. Then in 2021, it's all Angela's fault that we had an absolute fabulous time. So we rolled out the STEAM project. So I think that was our very first outreach after the lockdown, yes, and after the very strict limitations of going to schools and so on. So it was in two phases, and Angela can probably tell you way more about it because she was the mastermind behind it. So the phase one was teacher training, and here you can see some of the teachers training. Okay. And they got educated about the environment, about coding unplugged. So we did some sessions with that, and also, of course, about ESCOM Expo, because we wanted them to establish little science clubs, little project hubs for the learners. And then phase 2, it was actually two phase 2s. We visited schools. So we had environmental exhibitions, we had the introduction to ESCOM Expo. Again, we did a workshop on coding unplugged to high schools and a workshop on paper helicopter, just a simple thing with the learners, and of course a science show. So here you can see at the bottom, there's us doing the science show. And again, we had lots and lots of different partners. So it was a joint effort between the School of Education, the Science Center, VESA, who did a stellar job in hosting us, ESCOM Expo, and also KASMI, who came on board. So again, joint effort, joint responsibilities. 2022 was the year, I have to say. And again, it was Angela actually that roped me into this. Everybody is aware of the new rollout of coding and robotics. And what we basically did was we provided, or we were basically assisting primary school teachers with their new CAP subject. And we got an overwhelming response. So we started off with a workshop for subject advisors, so Department of Basic Education subject advisors. Then the district asked us to run workshops for their teachers. And here you can see, this is the environment up there. And can you imagine myself and my 2 interns, we won't be able to help and facilitate the workshop, which is, this one here, we had like 150 or 160, teachers sitting there. So it was impossible. So we had the assistance of KASMI again, also in terms of resources. And then from there, we get more and more requests for schools, from schools for teacher and learner training as well. So just in conclusion, so as I said, I'm supposed to give like 15 minutes or whatever. For me, and I'm speaking from the Science Center perspective as a lonely person in a Science Center, collaboration is important for us. And it's not only with partners outside the university, but also within the university. And this is, I think, what Maria already said, joining forces, working together. We all have the same goal. We don't have to, put at different strengths. I think together we can achieve way more. And how does it help us? Us as a Science Center, we get the resources. And I explicitly said men and women power. Okay. Sorry, yeah. But also equipment, resources. I don't have enough resources to facilitate a workshop for 160 teachers. I don't have the resources. But also, and I think this is, for me personally, it's the most important aspect, or one of the very important aspects. It brings people together and organizations closer together. So as Angela said, we would kind of dish out for a non-alcoholic gin and tonic. Okay. And you get to know people. And this not only, when we had the STEAM project, but also when we had Omjikeleza with science, you get to know the people, you talk to people, you share ideas, and sometimes it's a seed that starts a complete new project. Also contributions from different angles. I'm no expert in biology, I have to say. Life sciences, I don't do. So I don't have the knowledge, but I can learn from other partners. Learn from each other. How are things run? How do you do it? How do you do it? Oh, are you doing an online workshop? How do you actually do the online workshop? So sharing ideas is very important. And of course, and also this helps me as well, is the sharing of responsibilities. I don't have to go out and phone like every 5 minutes a school, oh, we are coming now, or organize the resources, or organize transports and so on. So by sharing the responsibilities, we can achieve more. And you can see we've got lots of partners, luckily, that we can collaborate with. And I didn't put up any numbers because I'm still lagging behind. we've been so busy this year with all sorts of outreach that I didn't have actually the time to pull out some fancy numbers. And yeah, and I think this picture says it all. Umjikelezo, this is one of our last outreaches with Umjikelezo, and you can see lots of happy faces and a very close-knit community. And I think, as Maya was saying, together we can achieve more. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. T. A few questions, please. And I think once we've done questions, we will go into Nalini's presentation. Questions, and then we will have overall question session and then conclusion. Any questions, please? Thank you so much, Tanya. There. She said no.
Yes, yeah, no, as I said, okay, I have to, I was a little bit exaggerating. I'm part of a little bit bigger team. I work for the College of Agriculture's Engineering Public Relations Department. So there, if needed, I can always, draw on some of them, and if you stick myself and my colleague Sashlin together, this is always not a good idea. It's just like when Angela and we are together, it's not a good idea. So, but yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. And I forgot actually to mention. One of the very important aspects here at the university is the UKZN Foundation, and I actually needed to put them up here because they were basically the ones who put me in contact, not only with the with this one, but also with the Upstream Training Trust Fund. And thanks to them, basically we have mobile science labs. Yes.
My interest was on the after programs, especially for some of the schools. Because the main challenge when we bring the concept to the learners is to maintain the land. So also, as much as they would love to pursue the ideas and insights, would be the requirements to enter in the universities. So now for them to make sure that they maintain the standard when you come to them with mobile facility. We'd like to pursue a step further like consultation.
Yeah, okay. So this is one of my future plans is next year I'm visiting the University of Erlangen, and they have a very fantastic program. Not so much of what you have where you have learners visiting the labs and you have like boards of learners. So what we are trying to do is we're trying to establish a lab where learners can apply to come and visit and do their ESCOM Expo research. So we would provide, as a university, we would provide mentorship. Okay, we would assist them with resources to do their project. So, and as I said, this has been successfully done at the University of Erlangen, and I would very much like to copy this model and bring it actually here to UKZN.
Sorry, can I extend on that? Because I think it's not just about the learners, it's also about the teachers. So one could look at how the School of Education could also be working with you to look at programs that the teachers could be a part of as well. Because I think when we're only working with the learners, they complete, they're gone, and the gap is still there. So it's really about the professional learning with the teachers as well. And we've done a lot of short courses with teachers, and that are SACE recognized. And that's something that we could collaboratively start working on. Okay, thank you. Okay, yes.
I'm coming from the rural areas, and I've been mixed a lot to students I reach. And the same part you mentioned that you don't have the source, we also have the resources as well. And now my question is, do you maybe in future plan to involve parents as well to maybe to also invest into their kids, not only in programs, sometimes they also, you know, they also want to reach out to other places. So maybe you can also work with parents as well.
This is actually a very, very important aspect, and we notice it. If the learners do not get the support from parents at home, then it's really very difficult for them to grow. If you have an idea of how we can involve parents, yes, please contact me, and I'm very happy. As I said, I'm very happy and very open for any type of support, ideas and so on. I don't, unfortunately, I currently do not have the capacity to involve parents, but maybe next time with our STEAM project, and I think this was also one of the ideas, is not only to involve, you know, the learners and teachers, but also, you know, to look at the community in itself. So I think maybe a little bit with the computer literacy program, we did this because we got feedback from the cleaning staff, actually. Oh, now I can help my children, you know, to access the internet and so on. So please, this is a call to everybody out there. If you are interested in joining our Complete For You effort, we always look for people on the ground to assist with the training.
Are there any other questions? Yes, last question. Thank you so much.
So my question is, how far do you go to reach your program in this?
Okay, this pretty much depends on who's phoning. Okay, so usually what we do is I think the first that we went was Newcastle, wasn't it, guys? I think Newcastle was pretty much. So we went up to Newcastle and did some workshops for the TVET College. So if they okay, so the challenge is that we currently don't have a budget. Okay, so what we would need then is for the school to pay for the transport up there, and then for accommodation. This is all what we are asking for, because I know that schools usually don't have that much money. We do charge a smaller amount for the more wealthier schools, but for example, if it's a non-fee paying school, the sky's the limit. So if you say, okay, you have one in the Eastern Cape or whatever, we come. Right.
And must I tell you, that is so true. The roads that we had to traverse last year, we could barely go on them. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. T. Right, so Ms. Duki Nalini, Eskom Expo, please will you come through? And I know that we're running a bit late. I don't know, did you want a question? Sorry. No, okay. So I do apologize. Nalini will do a presentation, and yes, we'll take some questions afterwards. Thank you so much, Nalini. Tanya, we need you. You know how to do this.
I don't know. Oh, is it again?
Yeah.
Why is it? I don't know why it's always getting stuck. Don't you know how to do it?
What's your presentation?
Rani, the presentation is loaded on.
What is it called?
It's called UKZN presentation. That one.
That's one.
Yeah. Okay, while we're finding my presentation, let me just say hello. Sani Banani, greetings to everyone. I am Nalini Duki, Mrs. Nalini Duki Angela. I'd like to be a miss, but unfortunately, I'm Mrs. Okay, and just to say that I am purely South African. You've had a Finnish accent, you heard a German accent, and now you're listening to my South African accent. Okay.
We good?
Okay. Thank you. And I represent a non-profit organization called, you've already heard, the Eskom Expo for Young Scientists. I am the provincial coordinator for KwaZulu-Natal. I'll tell you a little bit more about the organization during the course of the presentation. And also just to tell you about the ANT group that we have. The name ANT comes from A, Angela, N, Nalini, T, Tanya, and also because all three of us are always so busy like ants. So that's where the name comes from. And you would have picked up, we do a lot of collaborations and work together. So my topic, as you can see, opportunities and possibilities for learner engagement in STEM initiatives within communities. All right, why am I not moving to the next slide? There you go. Okay, so basically the outline of the presentation, why the focus on STEMI for us as an organization and STEMI in general. I will define learner engagement, what we mean when we talk about learner engagement, possibilities versus opportunities, who is responsible for this kind of learner engagement, and what are the possibilities and opportunities out there for STEMI engagement. You've heard already some of it, and how communities can engage learners, right? So why STEMI? So learners are the key stakeholders in STEMI education. They are the future workforce. With the looming fourth industrial revolution, the Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, and all this rapidly advancing technology, the World Economic Forum predicts that 65% of learners in primary school will end up working in jobs that currently do not exist. I think you will all agree with that. Are we preparing learners for these careers? Is our current South African education system preparing our learners? How employable are our grade 12 learners or our university students when they leave university? How employable are they? Do they have the skills necessary? Right? So this is the reason for us also as an organization and the whole focus on STEMI education. Building the future workforce. That is what it is all about. Human capital development. Right? And I must say, I always use the word possibilities and opportunities. Those are actually Angela's words. And that's a motto I follow now. Previously I used to see challenges in things. When things go wrong, we call them challenges. But I've learned from Angela that these are possibilities. They bring about opportunities for change, opportunities for growth. And so I've started to use that motto in my life and in my work. So what is this learner engagement about that we are talking about? It's not just learners writing exams, like our current education system is so focused on assessment. We are so assessment driven. Our focus is on the grade 12 matric examination. And all the years below that seems to get lost along the way. So when we're talking for us as Expo, when we're talking about learner engagement, we are talking about learners that are actively participating in their learning experience. They're actively engaged. They're participating in activities that are beyond the curriculum, that are more than just writing tests, going to school, doing the regular run-of-the-mill things that one does at school. So this is what we're talking about when we refer to as learner engagement. Learners that are motivated, inspired to do more. And this is a kind of learners that we expect to leave the education system, who will go into society and make a valuable contribution. That is what we should be aiming towards. And also for better retention, engagement, better retention of knowledge. Engagement should be on all of these 6 levels: cognitive, physical, emotional, behavioral. We should see behavioral change through learning, social engagement in social activities at school, cultural, So all of these activities together is learner engagement. And I'm also not only talking about learners as in pupils, I'm also referring to teachers as learners, because teachers are also part of the learning process. They themselves are learners. And for us at Expo, the teacher as a learner is a very important aspect of growth. There we have the opportunity. We're looking at what is an opportunity. It implies that someone provides you with a set of circumstances that can make things happen, right? The opportunity to do something you want to do, someone providing that opportunity or circumstances, setting out the rules for that. What is a possibility? The possibility implies the chances. What are the chances that something may happen, right? I've got a quote there. Hopefully I can read it myself. The best ideas come from winds that are free to explore possibilities, right? Considering whether you can do something or not. Okay, what are some of the engagement? What are some of the opportunities for learner engagement, right? Both formal and informal. Learning takes place formally, informally, at a school level, in the classroom, at home. They're learning at home. They're learning from parents. There was a question raised earlier on about how do we engage parents in the learning process. Parents are already engaged. Children are learning from parents how to grow things at home, agriculture. They're learning how to take care of pets. Those are all the informal learning that they do. The broader community, social issues, all of that have an impact. Gender-based violence, they're learning about these things from social media. All of these things have an impact. And of course, there's Olympiads and competitions, which is where we as an Expo come in terms of both formal and informal learning. Right? There's a whole host of competitions. There's a broad umbrella body called STEMI that has been recently formed. And these are the list of competitions and Olympiads in South Africa that fall under the umbrella body of STEMI, right? And the Eskom Expo, we are an agent. We are called a lead agent. So anyone wanting to run any kind of science fair or an expo will have to do that, will become one of our implementing agents. We'll do that under the auspices of the Eskom Expo. So any NGO that crops up or that is currently existing and wants to run a science fair will do so under the banner of Eskom Expo. And this is where the collaborations and the sharing of manpower and women power, as Tanya put it, comes in. Sharing of resources and not stretching ourselves thin. The types of STEMI engagements, the types of competitions, Olympiads that are run, there's a whole host of them. Programming, there's model building, I recently judged a Lego League competition that involved a project aspect as well as a coding and robotic aspect. And of course, there's Expo, there's essay writing, all of which get learners into that STEMI space. They might not realize it, that they are working in a STEMI space, but that is in fact what they are doing. So benefits, basically, I'm not going to go through all of this. Those of you all, I'm sure you do have some idea of the benefits, some of it being intrinsic, a lot of it being extrinsic, in terms of medals and accolades, prizes. As you heard from Angela, they were recently at our International Science Fair in Johannesburg, and KZN, we've done exceptionally well in the province. It was international. I can't remember which countries were there. I know Mexico offhand, I can remember. Mozambique, Ghana, thanks, Angela. So it was an international fair as well as our national 9 provinces competing against each other. I mean, there's a lot of benefits in terms of competition, but long-term benefits is about character building, about skills development, problem-solving skills, learners doing projects that requires them to make decisions, remake a decision, look at the results, comment on the results. This is all process of developing developing 21st century skills, all of which, some of it is informal. It's through the process of doing their participating in the competition or doing their project that they acquire these skills. Collaborations also being a very important part of it. We've collaborated with UKZN for mentors to prepare learners for our International Science Fair. And some of the learners, the medals that they received, the gold medals, the prizes, would not have been possible because most of our learners were from predominantly disadvantaged communities and rural communities. Nurturing talent, finding that talent and nurturing it is another advantage, another benefit for these competitions. Of course, there are the downsides, but for us, maybe I'm a bit biased because I come from a competition type of workspace. I am more leaning towards the benefits of competitions. And so this is us, the expo. This is kind of like what the expo looks like. Very much project-based learning, problem-based learning, inquiry-based learning, if you want, a grassroots level competition. We actually coordinate South Africa's largest science fair in the country, where learners have an opportunity to present their work through scientific or engineering projects. And in the province, I am the only employee, like Tanya. The rest of there are 9 provincial coordinators, and there's very few. We are about just under 20 staff members nationally. So each province has a provincial coordinator that coordinates the programs, whether it's teacher training, learner training, science camps, science clubs. We've collaborated with Tanya, you've heard, on the online science clubs. The organization at grassroots level, below us, beneath us, is run by volunteers. So here that I'm here in this platform, I do encourage anyone who has an interest in STEMI or has an interest in getting involved in the expo, please do join one of our committees. So I coordinate 5 regions in the province, the largest province in the country. So I would really love to have any kind of assistance that anyone can give to us. Very much the competition like what is done at the Luma in Finland, STAR-T, just that our learners participate as individuals or as pairs, 2 learners in form a pair. We're a non-profit organization, and as I think you figured that out already, Eskom is our primary sponsor, right? So it has naming rights. The competition is open to learners from grades 4 to grade 12. We haven't targeted the foundation phases, yes, but nothing stops us from provincial level, from introducing science clubs and introducing project-based learning at that level, right? The focus is on building the culture of innovation. This is what we need as we go into the 4th Industrial Revolution. Just to give you some stats, as our expo recently, this is just participation at the actual expos. It doesn't include stats from the learner workshops that we've done, because when we do learner workshops and teacher workshops, we find a lot of the schools, even the STEAM program that we collaborated in, a lot of those schools didn't participate in the expo. So the figures up here are the actual numbers that have participated. And you can see that a lot more work needs to be done in STEMI space for us. And the only way we can do this is by collaborations. For me, I collaborate with all the institutions in KZN, UKZN, MUT, UniZulu, DUT. They not only assist us to host the event, we use their premises. DUT has even sponsored the venue. We haven't paid for the venue, when we hosted the expo. But the workmen, the manpower, woman power, the mentors that we get is invaluable, that kind of support, which learners working at rural schools are not getting the kind of support from school level. And the only reason being that the teachers themselves might not be a qualified science teacher, a qualified physics teacher. That might be the only reason. Yes, resources is the problem, but we have found, as you can look, if you look at the stats, 4,651 learners were from previously disadvantaged schools, which should tell you that resources is not really a problem. These learners found a way to participate despite their lack of resources. And I'm just trying to think offhand. I think I wrote my stats. Did I write how many private schools? We had 71 out of the 711 schools, 71 private schools. So I think we need to figure out where the gap is. Schools that are resourced are not participating. Okay, so these are our 13 categories. And learners can do a project in any of these categories. There's 4 types of projects they can do, which is the method in which they can present the project. So they can do a maths project, they can do a social science study, they can do an engineering or computer science type of project, or a scientific investigation in any one of these 13 categories. These 13 categories are internationally benchmarked. They also career pathing. And if you look at the categories, you'll see yourself, it's self-explanatory to see the careers that learners can get into as they do projects in that field. I'm trying to think of a project offhand. I need to round off. A recycling project, learners using plastic bags to they created bags out of plastic or finding another use of plastic. There was one learner that used face masks to make a bag. So this is all career pathing as well. And some of our success stories, there's just a photo of the learners winning their gold medals, and one of our KZN learners holding a whole host of prizes that she won from various sponsors. And career pathing brings me to one of our learners that we hosted recently on our Wednesday workshops. Tanya spoke about the Wednesday workshops, where this is an ex-pupil of mine actually. Started Expo at grade 6 level, has done her postgraduate, has done a PhD, is now a fellow, am I right? Postdoc, she's doing her postdoc studies. Started Expo in grade 6, participating throughout high school. And she must be in her 20s. So this is the opportunity that Expo has provided, an opportunity for science. Some of our other success stories, I'm not going to spend time because my time is up. Siabulela, one of our Expo participants, participated internationally in the US, has a planetary body that's now named after him because MIT used his formula for rocket fuel. Can you imagine that? Our own South African homegrown talent started because of an Expo project through formal and informal learning. And another learner, just Claire Reed, who's got a business, an entrepreneur. She's now an entrepreneur, which came out of her project. And the beauty of the Expo project is even learners without academic excellence can do this. They don't have to go to university. Their project can be manufactured. They can start their own business, right? And we recently, at our meeting on Saturday with the Eskom Foundation, the new director for the Eskom Foundation, they're looking into how can learners now beyond Expo take their projects, what resources can be provided to them, because many learners have come up with innovative ideas that can become a business. Right? I'm close to the end. Possibilities. Learner engagement in STEMI. Who is responsible? Is it the teacher? Is it the school? Who? It's a collective responsibility. Right? We are all responsible. What can organizations do, like ourselves, like Expo, like STEC, like CASME? You'll find that a lot of the Olympiads that are run, I'm not sure how many of them actually provide teacher support, where they are training teachers on how to run these competitions. Or do they just hand out the questionnaires to teachers, give them a pack and say, okay, run these competitions? Whereas on the other hand, a competition like ourselves, like Expo, we provide SACE accredited teacher training programs, learner camps, where we train learners on how to do research. And the level of research, Angela and Maya will attest to it, the level of research is postgraduate studies, as one does at university level. So that's the kind of direction we want to take our learners. Even if it's a few learners that we can encourage to move that direction, we are contributing to that STEMI pipeline of the country. So this is what organizations, and we need to come together as communities, as schools, libraries being the hub closer to communities where learners can go. Not all of our rural children have access to computers. Some of them don't even have a cell phone. They cannot even access internet. So this is where our libraries can come in collaborations. I'm not going to go through all of it, as we've discussed many. There's government organizations. We spoke about the SDGs, achieving those goals. How can we help? How can us as other organizations help municipalities and governments to help that? How can we collaborate locally and internationally? So this is something that we need to think about, right? And after listening to your presentation, Manja, there's so much that we can learn and we can share with each other. To conclude, are we currently preparing students for jobs that don't yet exist? Using technologies that haven't been invented in order to solve problems we don't even know are problems yet? If not, then this is the direction we need to be taking our learners, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. As much as all these possibilities and these opportunities are out there, it's still out there. So it's up to the learner, it's up to the teacher, it's up to our organizations like ourselves to make this a reality for learners. Thank you very much. If you want to join our organization in any way, volunteer, my details are there. Thank you so much for listening to me and for this opportunity.
Thank you, Nalini. Can we just take 2 questions, please, if there are any? And you will meet Nalini in the tea room or the staff room next door, where we will have light finger snacks. Do we call it lunch? I'm not sure. But thank you. Any questions, please? Yes, thank you.
I have a comment because say for a successful child would be something institutions that are so the family community and school. If these institutions are not instituting each other, for instance, I need to secure a library for private school. The library, but they are not conducive. There's a condition that it's requires 82%. People are by the education. But if the people used to come in the school and are doing this, they can't informate what happens. So I think sometimes we can bring this such debate like this, but if the community is not stable,
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, these programs are helping to small children because they can follow a particular path just to please the parent. For instance, there is nature celebrating the ambition and when they start. So I think the parents, they can make such a contribution because they feel that the children they are not pleased with this thing. There are lots of talents and stuff like that. The generation, media is very criticized. They learn a lot from you. They learn to write something that you can do this.
Thank you. Just to add to that, You know, what we've seen, and I think, Angela, you having actually seen some of the projects and me working with rural schools, it's amazing how these learners, despite not having anything, as you say, not even having a computer, they find a way to do their project. And the teachers have been so wonderful. We've had teachers, school secretaries typing out learners' projects because they have to have a written component to their work. They have to have that project report. And this is where the broader community, as you're saying, have come in and have helped these children to ensure their success. So thank you for that comment.
So thank you, everybody, and most importantly, thank you to the participants present here. And I think on this note, may I ask the three of you to please return to the podium. And on behalf of the School of Education, from our Dean and Head of School, yes, there's a gift for each one of you. So please, can you come forward and accept the gift? Thank you, Maya. He wants to see you, Maya. And there's a waterfall.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the wrong color at the moment.
Tanya?
Oh, isn't that? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya, always.
Thank you. Don't make it too close up, you know, then you see my wrinkles.
Your wrinkles, at least they're on your face.
How do you know?
Thank you, Nadine. Thanks so much. Pull that tummy in.
This is what I'm wearing the picture.
Three of them. No, just the three of you, yeah. And may I say thank you so much to Dr. Cherukuru, who said to me, you know, I have bags in my office from the last conference. I think that was the community engagement one. Hey, he said we can give to each participant. So each one of you are getting a bag. Thank you so much. And it's a recycled bag made by a company that uses the innards of a tire. What we call the tubing. Yes. So everybody just make things done for everyone. We'll just do this when we pass one off. You have one. If you don't want to have it, but I might still have mine on the home. Yeah. Thank you so much. So everybody, you have a very nice bag. Oh, wow. I don't. Oh, no, you didn't have. Oh, thank you.
We talked about coding in the one that a while back. I want to show you something that I'm having to involved with and working on as well. But the basic thing from me working was education. And what happened is we found legal coming in with the participation or practically how to start we have so an India brought in a robotic kit that would afford the student to be able to utilize it. The value little than 5,000 rand. That is one of the landing. So I think